We're going. We're good to go. Okay, folks, today is February 14th, 2023. It is 7 p.m. I'd like to call this meeting to order. If everyone please stand for the invocation and pledge allegiance.
Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight to thank you for this gathering. We thank you for the calling of our mayor, our city council, and city employees, and we're grateful to have the opportunity to be good stewards to our city and our citizens. We pray that you will be glorified tonight through our decisions, and we ask for your wisdom and strength to do what is right and good for our city. May we always put the interests of others above our own. And Father, we lean on you tonight to guide us and help us to engage in meaningful discussion and to allow us to grow closer as a city. We pray that you will watch over us and bring prosperity and progress to our city. Just keep watch over us, Father, as we go about our daily lives, and we ask all of these things in your precious Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, any announcements?
I have one.
Okay.
I think I could probably speak for all of us up here, but I just we would all like to thank Kathy Majors. She is now the former president of Keep West Tawakoni Beautiful. She was one of the founders of that organization here in Keep West in West Tawakoni. And so I'd just like to thank her for her many years of service and all of her accomplishments and dedication. She was kind of the driving force behind that committee, and she and her husband Phil are going to be greatly missed.
Yes, they will. Any other announcements? Anybody? Moving on to citizens input related to agenda items. Anyone have any input in the agenda items? Yes, sir.
Rep Byers,
Yes, sir.
follow up to town hall meetings.
I beg your pardon?
Follow up to town hall meetings.
Yeah, we're on that. We're
Okay, well,
we're
Looking for where we're at.
We're gonna put that back. I'm gonna put it back in place because I think it's important as well.
so it's a question of when.
Yes. Okay, consent agenda item. Item A, approval of the minutes from January 23. B, approval of bills to be paid and those to be paid for January 23. Approval of financial reports for the month of January 2023. Court report for January 2023. Police Department report January 2023. Public Works order report January 23. Public Works reports January 2023. Permit work report January 2023. Code enforcement report for January 23. EDC minutes 23. Keep Talking Beautiful minutes for 23. November 23. 22. Planning and zoning committees. This is a time if y'all got questions regarding any of these reports, please do so now. Otherwise, the chair would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda, items A through L.
I second that motion.
From Kevin, all in favor?
Kevin Featherston.
Leon Myers.
Pam Reed, Robin Myers.
Chris Burkett.
Yes. Old business, 7A, discussion and or action to approve the contract between West Tawakoni EDC Development and Capella Investments for the purchase and development of the WTEDC, which is across the street here from City Hall. Any discussions, any comments, concerns?
I make a motion to accept the agreement as written, including the promissory note and the cancelable deed of trust.
What'd you say, councilable?
Hence, this one. Cancelable deed of trust.
Oh, okay.
If all the,
I have one question on that cancelable deed of trust, but McElroy's not here, so it's down here at the very bottom, it says Dallas County, I don't know why that would, I don't know why that would be on there.
Yeah, I remember that,
I didn't even see that one, Leon. We've been over this, I don't know how many times, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Should probably be Hunt County to that, and then we can get that changed.
yeah. Any other, discussion or questions or comments? Pam made a motion on the table, is it?
I'll second it.
All in favor? All in favor?
I'll second it.
Chris Burkett.
Emery,
Leon Myers.
Okay, we have, 4 yeas and 1 nay. Does anyone here have a problem with moving item, 8I, which is a discussion or take action for the approval of the fishing tournament to be held in the city park on May 12th and 13th, and a fee for use of said park? Y'all have a problem with us bringing that up, and you went in, that way Mr. Klein can, let us sit through the whole meeting. Are y'all okay with that? Everybody, council?
I'm fine.
All right, then let's discuss, item 8I, discussion and or take action for approval for a fishing tournament to be held in the city park on May 12th and 13th. This is a 24-hour tournament. They start on May 12th at 6 p.m.
At 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock, and they fish all night. It's one, you can noodle, you can net,
Trap line, jug line,
jug line,
noodle.
anything way you can do it. It's been a few years since we've had a tournament on.
Yes, sir.
So the chair would entertain a motion, on this item.
can we get some more information about this? Are we approving the tournament altogether? Are we approving the fee for the city, use of the city park? What are we actually,
Is it not self-explanatory?
well, what fee are we going to charge if that's on there, if any? And so it's not self-explanatory.
So I don't see I didn't see a fee. I was thinking it was sort of like what we've done before with some other things. That's what I read.
Yeah, that's the reason I was
They were just
questioning.
gonna allow them to hold it in the city park. I mean, if there was a fee, I think it probably would have been mentioned. So it's basically allowing the privilege to use the city park for the tournament. That's what I'm understanding.
Yeah, well, that's what threw me off. It says, and fee for use of city.
Well, that's if the council so chooses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so there's actually a fee, I guess we should be waiving the fee.
Yeah.
It's here. The power and speed of Frontier Fiber 5 gig internet. That means better saving the planet every
So,
chance you
I mean,
get.
that's what the question
Better
is,
creating
whether or not
entirely
the
new
council wants to allow them to use it, or if we're gonna charge our normal fee. But
Mikey, could you kind of tell us what you're gonna be doing at those two?
I'm having kids age of 13 and under. They can catch any kind of fish. The biggest fish out of the kids, the weight of the fish, any kind, will win a prize. I'm giving away prizes to all the kids, basically, who all enter and catches a fish. I'm gonna give a prize to every one of them. But they're gonna get a main big prize, the first place, first, second, and third. And the guys, for the adults, And the weigh-in on that is gonna be at 6 o'clock. The kids' weigh-in is at 3 o'clock. 6 o'clock, the weigh-ins for the guys, is one fish, the biggest catfish in this lake will win takes all.
So Mikey, how many times have you done this in the past?
This is my second year.
Second year? And how many are you anticipating? How many fishermen?
Oh, I could go over probably
Just-
about 100.
About 100? And you just throwing a number out there, how many of them are coming from outside Tawakoni into Tawakoni? Just most of them?
Yeah, it's gonna be.
So we're anticipating bringing people into our city.
Nice. Very nice.
So now, are there gonna be any kind of vendors at this on y'all's side?
No, I'm gonna have the fire department be cooking brisket. My dad's gonna be doing the brisket and have fire department pass it out.
Okay,
And they will charge, and they will get the money on that.
so there's not really gonna be any vendors, so to speak.
I think so, yeah. You've got some vendors signed up for that, don't you?
Uh,
Other vendors? You don't know?
I don't
I thought you did.
know vendors.
Oh.
Well, maybe Jessica. I haven't word back from Jessica
Or
Saul.
somebody behind you.
Oh,
I'm gonna be my drinks, remember?
your drinks. Sorry.
He's tired.
Our energy drinks, yes. We do have a booth, vendor, for energy, fishing, nutrition.
And what's the payout for the?
The payout, I'm paying 5,000 for the biggest fish.
So it starts at 3 p.m., right?
The way.
Yes, for the kids.
No,
The kids weigh in is at 3 o'clock.
But the original event starts on the 12th at 3 o'clock.
That's what I'm
The
saying. It
sign
starts
up.
on the
The
12th.
sign up, they can go out for 24 hours on the lake.
What's it cost to enter?
$100 per person.
Where does the money go to fire department?
I'm gonna split.
Okay,
I'm gonna split the funds, half. If I give to half for the city of West Tawakoni, I'm gonna give the other half to the fire department.
all right.
So,
I can't hold on that number.
so the weigh-in's at 3 for the kids, 6 for the adults. So there's probably not gonna be a lot going on other than that for the fishing tournament. Nothing happens with the fishing tournament until the weigh-in.
Yep.
Essentially, because everybody's in the lake fishing. So-
And this coincidentally,
So I was only asking because I know we have another event in the park on the same day,
right,
but
thank
the
you.
times,
The time should
the
not enter.
times shouldn't matter, and that's the reason why I asked about the vendors, because I know the other event does have vendors, so I was wanting to make sure we weren't putting two different events with two different, that we wouldn't have any kind of,
The mayor contacted me the other day. The market will be over by then if those vendors choose to stay and just sit there while
that'd be cool.
they might make a little extra money, they might not.
Yep.
That'll be up to them.
Okay, cool. That'd be awesome if those vendors chose to stay, a few of them.
So
I think I'm gonna make the motion, since it's gonna benefit the city, it's a community event, it's kids' involvement, to waive the fees for this event and allow
Yeah, it only makes
it
sense.
to happen in the park.
I mean, he just
And I'll
said,
second it.
he just said if there's
Sam said.
proceeds, that it's gonna be split up between the fire department and the city.
So I'm just now learning that the proceeds are gonna go to the fire department. I'm gonna abstain from the vote, even though I feel like it is an excellent thing for the city.
You got a motion?
Robin made a motion, Pam seconded.
Kevin Featherston?
Leon Meyer.
Pam Reed.
Robbie Myers.
Also, I'm gonna have some bound houses out there. I got 2 bound houses out there for the kids. And a lot of booths gonna be setting up. And I just got a word with Jessica Saul with her bike addiction, abuse addiction, in my understanding. They wanna come out,
It's backwards against the next.
a bike against addiction.
Thank you, sir.
All right, well, appreciate it.
You good to go?
Thank you.
Okay, moving back, to 8, new business. Consider and or take action to approve resolution 327-2-14.2023 approving the schedule of typical fines to be charged by the municipal court of the city of West Tawakoni and providing an effective date. You'll have time to look that over? Okay.
I make a motion that we approve 8A for the resolution 327-2.14.2023.
Hey.
I have one question.
Go ahead.
Are all those on those lists, does that pertain to do all of those pertain to our city?
Yes.
Every one of them? Okay.
Well, they do, but there are some tickets out there that are just rarely issued.
Right, okay,
Kevin,
that's right.
you need to put a date on it. A date? Of when to start? That's part of it.
Resolution would be effective after this reading.
Yeah,
Resolution.
today's date would be the effective.
Okay, I second that motion.
Good, second, all in favor?
Kevin Featherston.
Leon Myers.
Pam Reed.
Robin Myers.
Chris Burkett.
It is unanimous. Okay, consider and or take on 8B, consider or take action to approve resolution 328.2-14.2023, authorizing the award of administration services for contracts for the 2023-2024 Texas Community Development Block Grant. Texas Community, yeah. This is something that was brought to us 2 or 3 months ago. And there was a number of people that sat down and graded, went through a grading scale for both the administrators and the engineers, which we'll come up to on the next one, I believe. Does everybody understand this?
So this is to award the administrative part, what he's going over right now. And we graded him, I think, Grant Works.
Do y'all have any questions? This is Cassidy from Grant Works that
Yes,
presented
yes.
this.
Just had the highest score.
She was here at the last meeting, wasn't she?
Yeah.
All right.
No questions? Chair would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 328.2.14.2023, authorizing the award of administration services contract to Texas CDBG.
I second that motion.
Kevin second, all in favor?
Kevin Featherston.
Leon Myers.
Pam Reed.
Robin Myers.
Chris Burkett.
It is unanimous. Moving on to 8C, consider and take action to approve resolution 392-2.14-2023, authorizing the award of engineering services for the contract for the 2023-2024 Texas Community Development Block Grant. Again, Chair would entertain a motion on that.
I make a motion that we consider to approve the resolution 329.2.14.2023, authorizing the award of an engineering service contracts for the Texas Community Development Block Grant Fund. And I think the ones that we've done is, that got the highest score on that was Jacob and Martin.
I second that motion.
Kevin second. All in favor?
Kevin Featherston.
Leon Myers.
Pam Reed.
Robin Myers.
Chris Burkett.
It is unanimous. Okay, new business 8D, consider and or take action to approve the contract with Bureau Veritas for a full service agreement for a year, I guess close to a year. that, we've been dealing with them. They're a very good vendor. They take care of a lot of stuff around here. They do a superior job and are always, at a phone call away. So did anybody have the, time, or you ever looked over this?
So in doing this, we're not authorizing this $132,000 grand total, correct? We're only authorizing what services we use.
Say that again.
In doing this, we're not authorizing the $132,000 full services. We're only authorizing what we use from them.
What we use is,
Okay,
there's some things that we didn't have a price out on. Is that the way you understand it too?
So basically, it's the same contract we had with them, which is it's an opening contract. So when we want to terminate it, we can terminate it. If they want to, they can. There's no end date. The only thing we did was have them add services that they provide that we weren't using. It only costs if we use it.
So this one's dated 2022. Is there that dated with that, or is it in here just not?
That was hand dropped off to us, mid last week. So I can have them change the date on it.
Okay.
Okay. Any other discussion? Any other questions, concerns, comments?
I make,
Any,
if there's not any, I make a motion, we approve the contract.
I second it.
Kim, Chris first, Pam second, all in favor?
Kevin Featherston.
And
Pam Reed.
Robin Meyer.
Chris Burkett.
It is unanimous. Okay, consider take action to approve this, we're on item D, on E. Considering or take action to approve the West Waukon Economic Development, to change the meeting time, starting meeting time from 6 to 6:30, which is obvious, to accommodate some of the committee members.
Yes.
Anybody-
Yeah.
yeah.
Would like to come in. with a-
Anybody have any discussion, questions, comments, concerns?
I make a motion to approve West Waukene Economic Development to change their meeting starting time from 6 p.m. to 6:30 p.m.
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Kevin Featherston.
Pam Reed.
Robin Meyer.
Chris Burkett.
It is unanimous.
Mayor, on this next line,
Hang on, let me get, F.
yes, sir, if the council would agree, could we swap F and G? Can we just do G next and then go back to F and then do H?
F, sure, yeah, we can do that.
All right, if everybody's okay with that.
What are you asking? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Just swap F and G.
Oh, swap. I thought you said swipe. Okay, so I'm sorry. Okay.
Just want to go right to them.
Okay.
Sir?
Okay,
Well, just because the two are kind of in line with each other, sort of, in some of the points I would like to talk about.
Okay.
all right, so item G, discuss and enter or take action to set a date. Yeah, for city council to interview applicants for the finance and operations position.
Would it be possible to go into executive session to discuss some stuff on this?
Tonight, or you mean when we're doing the interviews? We can do the interviews.
Yeah, we'll do
entirely in executive
Yeah.
session.
I think we wanted to
That's our
discuss.
plan is to interview it.
I'd like to chat about this just for a few minutes. Is that possible?
Have you been up here to look at the applications?
Not yet, but
I agree with him. I'd like to go into executive session to discuss this a little further.
To discuss whether or not we have the position or not.
yes.
What do you mean, we have we have an open position?
We have a finance director position
We
already.
haven't actually set the job requirements, the expectations completely.
I don't think it's a proper executive session topic, but I think it would be a good topic for like a workshop, where you have the time to
I
sit
agree with
around and actually kick around what you want city government to look like in the future. I think that's the kind of topic what you're talking about.
Yes, sir.
It would be a workshop topic, to decide what you want the structure, the administrative structure of City Hall to be in the coming years.
Yes.
But I mean, that would be an open session. It would be a different kind of meeting than we have here, because you could take action at the meeting if you wanted to, but we would try to set that at a time when you can sit and have a
Yeah.
discussion just on this topic.
And it would make sense to go to executive session, talk about when we narrow it down
Well, when
to
you're-
X amount of applicants.
When you're
and
talking,
we're
when you're
interviewing.
talking about applicants and doing it, you can do that in executive session. You can do the interviews. You have to come out in open session and hire,
Right.
or confirm what you're doing within the action.
So G is about, scheduling a date to do the interviews. We talked about, a couple of us talked about, I think Monday the 20th. Is that right? Is it
Well,
Monday
Monday?
or Tuesday.
But here was being said, Mayor,
You,
I don't know that interviews are wanting to be entertained at this moment from the conversations I just heard, so you've got a bunch of applicants that are probably gonna get jobs before we get to,
yeah, I've got one of them that's already let me know today.
I mean, I'm,
Who's that?
I've asked a lot of questions, I've came up and asked a lot of questions to all these
And I
ladies
had
and
the job
yourself.
description,
about this.
I sent the job description to Leon, the duties and the job description here.
So if we're gonna do this in open session, here's the consideration. Are we setting forth to have a financial officer from now until eternity here? And are we, instead of having a administrative position? I think that's where I think some of us are coming from. We're a little concerned if someone else were made mayor, if this would be as good a thing to have as actually having a city administrator.
My comment on that is, why are you waiting until tonight? This has been going on for 2 months. Why didn't you bring this up?
I think I did in that packet that I gave you about how I thought we ought to go about it.
You gave me a packet on how to go about an interview, and I don't need a packet to go in
It wasn't about interview, it was how to get the city council involved in making these decisions.
Talk to any other council members about this? About what you're talking about?
I have heard other council members saying things, and I have not brought up that because I did not want to have a discussion outside of here that would be considered violating the Open Meetings Act.
I have the same concern as Jim. You know, who's gonna run this city without a city administrator? Who's gonna run the city?
I
Who's gonna-
understand, I
Who's gonna
understand,
be over all these employees out here?
yeah, I understand your question and concern is, what my point is you wait till the night of the meeting to bring it up. I've not received a phone call from either one of you asking or expressing a concern.
And I wanted to say, Mary, that's a good thing, because this is the kind of thing we need to be talking about in the meeting.
Yeah, I mean,
But I can speak to that too. We were only told about this change the night of the last meeting, so we were not informed of it either. We
well,
never
the
got a
ball
phone
started
call.
rolling whenever the council named, Kim Kelly,
I don't
city
think
secretary.
us naming her city secretary said that we didn't want a city administrator.
No, I don't, I agree with that. I agree with that.
So we're all in agreement that this was talked about or announced at the last council meeting, correct?
I will agree.
In
This has been,
executive
So,
session.
so let me finish. So what I'm gonna ask everybody sitting here is if we all agree that it was announced in the last council meeting, that was, I'm not gonna look at my phone, but I know it was 4 months ago because every month has 4 weeks ago. Every month has 4 weeks in it. What I'm asking is, I mean, if anybody, when you have a concern, if I have a concern, I knock down his door, her door, his door, I knock down anybody's door. Why didn't somebody say a week ago or 2 weeks ago or whatever, let's have a meeting and we could have thrown a workshop together. We could have all gotten together, thrown a workshop together and talked about this before we get to this point. I mean, I'm pretty sure, because I got a call and was asked to come up here and look at applications. I came and done that. That was a week, let me finish, please.
Sorry.
That was a week ago. And so what I'm trying to figure out is, why are we waiting until tonight? I mean, it's aggravating because it's wasting my time. I mean, I'm sitting here thinking that we're doing something, we're making progress. I did what I was asked. I came up, as Ms. Annette asked me to come up and look at these applications. And when I did that, I said, is everybody doing this? She said, yes, I've asked everybody to do this. Guys, I'm lost. I mean, it's like there's an absolute zero teamwork on this. That's what I'm seeing.
this was brought up at the last council meeting, in executive session.
Okay.
We just found out Friday that we were gonna do interviews, or set time to do interviews. Yes, you've got with us to come look at applications. I think, speaking for myself, and I believe others have had a concern about this and wasn't sure how to address it. My biggest concern has been, we haven't set the job description and the duties for that. I'm hearing now that you have them, but I haven't seen them.
So the question is, who has more experience in public works? Sitting in this room. Who has more experience in working in this office, doing this work? Or her?
Well, she does.
So I'm gonna ask the room, who made the job requirements?
Again,
Can
I'm just
anybody
now
answer that?
hearing that the job requirements are there.
Can anybody answer that? Who came up with the job requirements? I think I know who that is.
That I put in the needs that were needed to be met for.
Guys, the council, us as a council, we don't have any idea what it takes to run this city. We have an idea what the city has in it as far as a budget, this, that, and the other, but there's not one of us that could go in here and run this water system. There's not one of us that could build the budget because we can't get into all those things. We don't know anything about all the bank accounts, none of that. How are we gonna be the ones that dictate the job descriptions? Or as a job that none of us have held?
I don't think that's what.
And that's not even what it all is, Kevin. This is the city's future. Who's gonna run this city in the future?
The next council,
he's
because we're
gonna
not
be
all
mayor
gonna be here forever. We're not all gonna be here forever. So the thought of us trying to say something to make a job description that could be changed in 2 years is ludicrous.
I really think we need to go into executive session to discuss this.
We can do
for a
it.
few minutes.
Agreed.
Just for a few minutes and calm down and let everybody discuss
This
this and give
is
their,
fine. We're
and give their concerns.
all humans. This is fine.
I know.
It's just discussion.
Yeah, it's a
I mean,
discussion. This is fine. Nobody's throwing chairs. I mean,
Not yet.
well, I mean,
And I
whoever-
did come up
so
last
choose
Thursday and
to do
look through
that.
all of the applications that Annette gave me, and I did ask questions, so I
Has
did. come up
everybody,
with
is
that.
there anybody that hasn't looked at the application?
I haven't, but she was
So
prepared.
now
to
y'all
go.
have
I have.
And Leon has.
I don't, and that's another thing, since we're backtracking and blaming and
Nobody's
saying we didn't
blaming
do stuff.
anybody.
Well, I mean, why weren't those applications put in our packet where we could,
Because
why?
you wanna know because why?
Yeah,
Okay, you must not know too much about human resources.
well,
You start putting these out to different people, it makes there is a chance that could get into other people's hands. This is personal information on resumes. They should never be mailed out. We had no intentions, nor will we ever email out applications, resumes, or whatever through internets in case they get into the wrong hands accidentally. I know we're all responsible adults.
I wasn't put in the packet.
It's
That
the
was
same
done in the
thing.
past.
Same thing.
It's been done before.
Doesn't mean don't.
have you got any comment on that?
That,
Better talk to corporate America.
I was told that if it's put in the paper, it's open
Obviously.
record.
They get shit done.
Open record
Probably open record,
files.
Jenny.
So, you know, I mean,
That's right.
that's why I was told not to put it in there, so.
Sounds like to me we need to set a workshop for line, what was it?
The job.
I mean, I can't come up here in 30 minutes and read 10 applications. I can see.
I just, I'm not want to make the motion, but this needs to be tabled. And this is just gonna put us further and further back. We need somebody in this position in March. Honestly, I think we were all here the last time, 2 years ago, that we went through this. And we all interviewed the same people. And I don't know if anyone remembers, but the salary requirements was in excess of $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 to do that. Where are we gonna get that money from? You got any idea? We could go find an experienced, somebody that's been doing city administration for 20 years, but we will pay dearly for it. So I'm open to suggestions. I really am. If y'all got another alternative, bring it on, because we can't think of any way to do it.
I make a motion, we table this, and as a council, we make an agreement to set a date to do a workshop. And I guess, Mayor, that may take calls from you to figure out whenever, I mean, as long as I know the date, I should be able to make myself available. But I make a motion, we table this until the council can come together and figure out how we want to move forward.
Was that Pam said that?
I seconded it.
Okay. I couldn't.
Kevin Featherston.
Leon Myers.
Pam Reed.
Owen Myers.
Chris Burkett.
So now we're on F, is that right?
This was personal. Yeah. Gee, okay, here we go. Okay, back up to G, discussion and or take action to set a date for the city. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
discussion and or take action for water, Tawakoni Volunteer Fire Department, handling Vincent Park. And I have spoke with Chris on this, and his team is eager to do the Easter egg hunt. What the reason this is in here like this, and I'm sorry I didn't call you back and ask this. I had a crazy weekend, or a crazy Thursday, Friday in the weekend. Anyway, we didn't get into the depth of it, but I'd like to see if the fire department is going to take upon the Easter egg hunt. I'd like to discuss and hear what other events, if any, that the fire department would like to do, because we don't have the people in place now that used to handle all this.
So we weren't prepared for that, but I would like to take that back to our board. Cassie is here. She is the chairman of our, step up there.
Public relations.
And,
Auxiliary.
but we, our auxiliary board, but we will take that back after the fact and discuss what other events and get you some information. on that.
Okay, so can we agree for now to do the Easter egg, since Easter's in April, right? So we still got time, but time will slip away from you real quick in doing these Easter egg hunts. Do we go ahead and name that for the Easter egg hunt?
Yes.
So I have the flyers that we came up with. So we're wanting to take it over from here on out. And do it the Saturday before Easter every year at the auxiliary. This will be my first year doing it, but
The fire department's been involved in it in years, so.
yeah. And I've hosted many events for QSA and things like that, so it's not my first rodeo, it's just the first, and church and stuff, so. We'll do it April 8th, right after Market on the Lake, at 2. That way the vendors can stay as well and, hopefully partake in it. And hopefully people will show up early, which will benefit everybody that's there as well. The auxiliary is also always looking for more members to help grow and build and make more events that we can take over. As the chair lady of the auxiliary, I'm trying to build more things for the community through the auxiliary of the fire department, for all our surrounding departments to be involved and build our cities and make it better for everybody.
So
So,
you're looking for outside assistance outside the fire department, for people to assist in.
yeah, for the, to join the
And
auxiliary.
what Facebook pages or social media pages you can put them on? Because as of today, I've not seen anything.
We created the auxiliary page. I just took the auxiliary over about a month ago, I think. Yeah, something like that. The first thing I did was the Pancakes with Santa as the chair lady of the auxiliary. This will be the second event. But we created the auxiliary page a few days ago. We're still working on the bio to build it up to where we can start sharing it and everything.
But we'll start sharing it immediately.
Yeah.
After tonight, we're waiting for approval. It'll go on our
Sure.
Facebook page and we'll start sharing it to all the other local pages.
Right.
Post flyers, we'll get it out to the surrounding cities.
Oh, we have plenty of time. For that Pancakes with Santa, I think we had, 3 weeks? And we had almost 200 people show up. So this will be a good event. And this is an event that's been hosted in the city before. So it's just the only thing different is the fire department's taking it over.
I met with our police chief on the way in and the police department would like to join in with us on it. So we'll need to get with them.
Yeah.
Definitely a team will make it better. So.
Well, it's not like this event is being taken away from anybody.
Yeah.
No,
No.
Right.
I mean, I don't know, I was confused when I seen it. I wasn't, I mean,
we just want it locked in to where the same people are gonna do it every year and not have,
Some consistency.
yes.
Well,
Nobody coming up saying, who's gonna do the Easter egg hunt this year,
Well,
you know?
what started this was a request for a resolution. Is that right?
And that might have been the wrong term, but
I don't see a problem with it. I mean, I would like to see
we just wanted it locked in.
if the fire department or the auxiliary, it's really not, it's the fire department, but it's the
Correct.
auxiliary. So there are two different things, but, I would like to see the auxiliary take, maybe even the trunk or treat. Maybe,
Yeah, we were talking
you know,
about that.
Maybe even the Christmas thing.
And that's where I was at. I was taken by surprise because we didn't get a chance to talk about that.
Yeah.
We will dang sure take that right back to the auxiliary. We're looking for events to take over and host and help build the community that way. So
Yeah, and I mean, bring fire trucks, all that stuff makes it
Yeah.
that much neater for kids. All these things we're talking about are all kid related.
Yeah.
So,
And the trunk or treat is really it's not hard to do.
No.
It kind of does.
Pretty much can't.
Yeah,
I mean, you can make it as hard as you want to, but
Sure.
it's very simple.
So-
You just-
Yeah, I agree.
typically in the past, for anybody to have an event at the park, basically taking over the park without fees or whatever, it has to be approved. That was the main thing for bringing it in front of council because
well, I mean, I can't see how
exactly.
Easter egg hunt it's not a money making thing. I mean, now I guess for me, now that you just brought that up, if we're taking an Easter egg hunt, or if we're taking a Christmas in the park or whatever we're going to call it, or even trunk or treat. Now, if we're running around out there as a fire department with boots trying to get people to stuff them full of money, then that to me is a conflict of interest.
Right.
I mean, I'm glad I wasn't thinking about that till you said something that sparked it, but
Yeah.
I mean, I would darn sure hope that wouldn't be what we were doing, is tying a boot to everybody's, waist and saying run around, I'm just saying, you said
Yep,
something that made me
that's
think
why I
about
brought
it,
it
so,
up. I want to make sure that
um,
the expectations are set.
So as the auxiliary chair lady, we have set it apart to where we have so many community events each year and then so many fundraiser events each year. So that way they're completely separate.
Yeah.
I've been around this area now for about 7 years. I don't plan on going anywhere. My kids are here in town. So as on the auxiliary and even as a volunteer fire department, I will take this on from here on out in any events that need to be planned for the city because kids are what I do.
right.
So
So the conduit that you put out there was the fee for the park.
Correct.
To me, if it's not a event like what you're saying, if it's not a money-making event, you're just doing it for the kids, doing it for the community.
It's a
And
community.
there's, we never charged in the past,
Yep.
whoever was doing it,
Yeah.
a fee. So I don't think there should be a fee associated, but I would dang sure like to see you guys take, the trunk or treat, the Christmas. I mean, and that way, the consistency, to your point, there would be that consistency for those 3 major happenings a
That's what
year
we're
or
looking
whatever.
for.
But you guys are gonna probably have to go get that approved by your board or whatever. So I guess tonight, we're just gonna maybe say that they've got the Easter thing and bring it back. I mean, can we say that, but also say it's gonna be on our,
Next
March
agenda.
agenda?
For what other events that we're just.
Yeah, I mean,
talking about.
I'm afraid if we don't say the Easter thing tonight, you're not gonna have enough time to get it out there and prepare for it. You really need to start
Yeah, right.
pushing that.
Yeah, that's all we've been waiting
Yeah,
for.
that's
We're
all.
ready to go
Yeah,
to
you need to
press
start
with
pushing
everything.
that tomorrow, right?
Yes.
So,
And we need to start collecting eggs immediately,
Yeah.
so we need to see
Yeah,
as a drop-off
Yeah.
spot too.
Yeah.
Now,
You guys
That's,
have
that's why I say time is running out.
as long as they don't bring
Because
hard
it
boiled
takes-
ones, because they won't smell very good.
Yeah, I know.
Just
So-
the plastic.
Yeah.
She's looking for drop-off points where?
The here at City Hall, Chamber of Commerce, and the fire department locally, and then we'll ask for volunteers over the Facebook page and word of mouth to stuff the eggs closer for candy and eggs. The Legion, VFW, the supporters of in the past, obviously we'll go back there and ask them again. And
I think we put PD on there too, didn't we?
yeah, we're gonna add PD on it.
Okay, so,
So I make a motion that, we give the approval for the fire department auxiliary to handle the Easter egg hunt this year for 2023. And then we will have a discussion on our next agenda next month for the fire department or the fire department auxiliary to handle the trunk or treat and the Christmas
I'll second
event.
it.
Robin second. Okay, all in favor?
Kevin Featherston.
Leon Meyer.
Pam Reed.
Robin Myers.
Chris Burkett.
It is yes. Okay, moving down to, H, discussing or take action on the restructuring of West Walton Farmers Market. Before I go any further, I want to read the farmers market was a concept that came up in 2021. And what I wanted to do is read this to the council as a refresher. And did you put any of that in? Is it in the packet? This,
The
Yes.
resolution.
it is in the packet? Okay. This is the problem, guys. Last year, we had, this past audit, we had so many requests for minutes of meetings because these auditors are not just looking at numbers and numbers only. They're looking to see if we approve an expenditure of something and they want to see the minutes that backs it up. Talking about dollar amounts and what it was for and all that. So they really get real deep with it. So far, if you read it, it says Councilor Featherston made a motion to approve the use of the parking for the farmer's market held each month contingent on a committee form and that committee being presented at a council meeting. I've never heard of the farmer's market committee except in the beginning. There were 12 slots. I believe only 2, maybe 3 of you are on there, being Chris, Kathy Emile, and Pam Reed. It showed Pam as the secretary. So we've not seen that. We've not had any minutes. We've not had any budgets. And I can promise you the auditor is going to raise a red flag because we've got money coming in. We added another checking account. We're up to 12 or 14 checking accounts. Is that right? Okay. And this being one of them.
I do have minutes from when we
So-
initially started that while I was secretary, but then it's changed to a different person.
But we never had this resolution.
Sure we did.
We have never approved this resolution. This resolution has never made it to the city council.
It did.
We have been
This
waiting
is
for
the first
this.
time
We have
We
been
looked at it
asked,
last week and it has, Chris. That's
It
why I'm
was-
bringing
it was
this up.
approved. It was approved,
Yeah, it's in
6/8 of 21.
That's what I'm saying. The auditors will be,
Jim furnished it to us and it was on that meeting.
so how many times you and I have gone back and forth trying to figure out how we're supposed to be handling this, where the money's supposed to be going, how we're supposed
It
to be
doesn't,
handling
it
the money?
doesn't say any of that.
This is not talking
This,
about. the
this
money.
is just the resolution forming your members.
committee.
This is what Jim drew up.
And this puts it directly under the city is what we've been asking that it needed to be.
Actually,
I have
it
to read
just
it
says,
again.
it just says the committee.
I
I
mean,
just had
it's,
to
the
read
way
it.
I, in my research, the way I've looked at this, the market on the lake is somewhat the same as Keep West Water
Yes.
Beautiful, okay? That's the way I view it. That's from my view. So when I went and asked Annette, I said, okay, how does Keep West Walking Beautiful, how does that work? They get money, whatever, same
They do
thing.
their fundraisers,
Right.
the money comes in,
It comes in
it
here.
is supposed to.
And I said, okay, cool. But to the mayor's point is, we gotta have minutes, but we also need to know who the members are, because there's never been any
Yep.
updates. There's never been any updates brought to.
And I think there's just been confusion because we've gone back and forth. We talked about where it was supposed to be on the budget this last year. It wasn't on the budget anywhere. There wasn't a budget line item. So there's just been confusion back and forth. Kathy, I think you have a full list of members.
But there's a little bit more to it. Whenever I was looking at Keep West Walking Beautiful and I was asking Annette about it and I was coming up here and bugging them, asking them, where can I find this or where can I learn this? So they actually have sort of a budget. If I remember right, there was something you showed me and all the
Keep
stuff.
West Walking Beautiful has a budget,
Just-
but
Keep West Walking Beautiful.
If it's a list, you just give it to
Yeah,
them.
there was a bunch of stuff that you gave me that I read through, which kind of flooded my mind with it. So I'm trying to go off memory. So there was a budget, they had money, they had a goal there was something they had to go, they wanted to put some signs up.
signs on each end of town.
So that was some of my thoughts on this line is, we probably need to figure that out and get some of that going for the market on the lake, because at some point, the auditors are gonna say, okay, what are y'all doing? Because I think I asked you last week, there was last week, what is today?
Thursday.
Tuesday.
Tuesday the 14th.
It's been Tuesday all day.
Yesterday, I guess. Was it yesterday I looked there bugging you? Anyway, you told me there was like $3,000 and something in that account. So we need to be able to tell these auditors and also tell the community what's going on with this, if this money is going to be handled through the city. Now, if the market on the lake was to get their own 501c, whatever, then the city, it wouldn't really necessarily matter, right? They would be their own entity. But it's not that way right now. So now the city does have to answer to the public as to what is this money and what is it going to be used for? I mean, if that thing was to take off and that account was running $10, $20, $30,000, I can promise you these citizens are going to be going, what is this money going to be used for? I mean, it's
Well,
already.
they already are.
Yeah.
There's
so-
already questions asked where the money's gonna be spent.
So I'm going to say this. I think Robin may have been the only council member, Robin, yourself, and me, when that was formed. I'm trying to remember who all was here.
You and Robin made the motion.
Leon, were you back on the council when we brought that on?
We were
I can't,
elected in 2020.
I can't remember. I'm saying the council members that were present at that meeting, I think were us three.
Oh, I think we were out with COVID.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Well, no, you voted on something.
Yeah, you
I don't remember that being
But-
approved.
Here's the thing. What we really all need to think about is this. We all vote on these things, but we need to make sure that we all hold each other accountable, right? So something that I said, and one reason, I know you two were sitting there because I looked across and I looked at you. When I made the motion, I said, look, as long as we get a committee formed, and Chris, I looked at you because you and I were working together a lot back then. I said, as long as we get a committee formed and you hand this thing off, because you stay busy. I watch you at the fire department. I watch you here. And I mean, we all need to be realistic with each other as we keep loading our plates up and our plate gets overrun and it impacts us in a lot of ways. And
Something,
so I'm gonna iterate what I said that night. I think it's something that you need to let your board and your people handle, because that's just from me to you.
But there's a lot of us that have full plates that can
Yeah,
handle
what?
that kind of pressure.
Well, but you become, the more you load your plate up or the more you volunteer, it's not a theory, it's a fact. You become less effective at some
Any
things.
of them.
I mean, there's only so much a person can do. It'll show in somewhere in our personal lives or in our professional lives, it'll show. It'll
But
show.
that's
it'll show.
neither here nor there for this. That's for me to deal with how
No, I'm saying that that's what I would like, is I would like to see that this committee take off and run on its own.
at some point that would be real nice.
Well, it's been going on for 2 years, how long does it take to build it?
Well, considering our lovely town, we don't get a whole lot of volunteers. And most of our volunteers have fallen off, and we're still having to hold it together between 2 or 3 of us. We haven't found when that'll happen yet.
So I go through Facebook quite a bit. I have never seen a request for volunteers to assist in the market on the lake. Never.
I would suggest you go back through because they're there.
Where? Show
They're
me.
on the market page constantly requesting volunteers.
But why are they not on West Tawakoni and some of the other pages rather than how many? I mean, you got to look and see how many people that one red page are talking to.
It
Market
has
on the lake.
plenty.
So that's probably immaterial, but right
It
now
is.
we've got 6 members.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, again, seeing this, we do need to start getting minutes. Now that I can agree on that 100%. I think there's been a lot waiting to figure out how we're going to handle what we're doing. Money, it was discussed during budget, still nothing dealt with.
But it never crossed my mind about a budget, because it was just kind of starting then, you know.
Well, I can, based on the last budget that they did, I mean, I didn't know they did this much request for minutes, and they match minutes to money spent, and it has to all come out of the wash. So they will be, and I think what the audit they're doing now encompasses what we did in 2021, 2022. Is that the one that they're working?
2021.
Oh, yeah, okay, so yes, it falls right in there, and they will be asking, there's not a doubt in my mind, they will be asking.
But again, that's perfectly fine, but there's not a line item on the budget for them to be asking about.
It doesn't matter, it
There's an
doesn't,
account. It
Correct,
doesn't have
correct.
to be necessarily a line.
they're gonna see money coming in.
And they can see that coming in, they can see that going out with the receipts she has.
You're not understanding.
No, sir.
We'll move on, because you're not understanding. Let's move on to,
Well,
what?
do we want to take any action on anything there, or just let that go on H for the farmer's market?
It's died on the table. Moving on. Next is H. We did I. We're done with that. At this time, the city council reserves the right to go into executive session to talk about 1, 2 different items.
Just you. I said, just mute. Better make it 8:16.
Was it 8 o'clock?
She wrote it there. Somebody doing something around here.
Yeah, right.
Did we do, H on eight H?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, okay. Some of my writing went across
Yeah, we did.
other
Yeah, we
things,
did.
so, okay, it is 8:50 PM. Returning from executive session, looks like we lost our audience. Kathy's a trooper out there, so let's figure it out. Anyway, coming back, we need to discuss and or take action on pending litigation. And I believe this also goes in with 810B, is that correct? About the Indian Oaks Utility Services?
Yes.
9A might be in there.
The chair will entertain a motion. Yeah. I don't want us to listen twice, the wording is different.
Well, it's two different issues.
There's two different issues.
Pending litigation, Indian Oaks, consulting with attorney, Indian Oaks.
But they're both in Indian Oaks.
Yeah.
Two issues in Indian Oaks.
So we're gonna table part A on the pending litigation, we're gonna table that. I make a motion to table it. All we want
Yeah,
to
just-
on the table.
So, chair entertaining any motion, discussion, concerns, questions, or anything regarding 9A, consultation with the attorney, Texas Government Code 551.071, pending litigation with a resident in Indian Oaks. There's no response. And the item dies. 9B, consultation with attorney, Texas Government Code 551.071 regarding Indian Oaks Utility Services. None there, that option dies on the table. Returning back to open session, about the pending litigation, it's the same thing we just did, I just put it in a different place. So died on table. No action. Yeah, is there any, moving on to, 11 citizens discussion, input on, non-related agenda items?
Yeah,
Yes, you said,
yes.
okay,
I
go ahead,
got two things.
go ahead.
Okay, first thing is a fundraiser at the golf course. It's on March 25th. And I've got flyers.
It's fundraiser,
Yes,
who for?
it's for the fire department.
Okay,
And we want to invite all of you guys to play, and I will be happy to take checks tonight.
you're only offering for part of us, because trust us, you don't want us, you don't want us out there.
I know of
There's
three,
plenty
I know
of
of three
hockey
people,
clubs.
I know of three people that don't need to play.
Yeah, and Curtis, let me put it this way. Curtis Huff was it Curtis Huff that brought, you brought the hockey sticks, okay.
Yeah, but he was golfing.
He was
Left-handed,
doing,
right-handed clubs better than we could.
yeah, he was left-handed, he could hit the ball, but
Okay, so everybody has to play.
Most important, even if we don't play, we want to make sure, try to get as many from the city out there as we can.
right, yeah,
Whether the city,
yeah.
What was the date again?
March
Oh,
25th.
I got the flyer, I'm sorry.
It's open to the public, 2-person scramble. Okay, if you want to sponsor your business, if you want to put your attorney information on something.
I don't know if I want more West Walking.
Okay, in appreciation
Yeah,
for
it was
West
called
Walking.
Jim McElroy.
To do a sign on a card is $150. Okay, and that'll be on, should be on 5 cards. He's gonna put it on the sign. He'll print that sign. You can put a sign at a hole for $250, or sponsor a luncheon for $500. And if you wanna play it, $75 per person. That includes 18 holes of golf with the cart, skills competition, and lunch following the event. Mulligan package also for $20. I need a bunch of those.
You buy a mulligan back packet.
Yeah, that's $20. And then you can stop by the golf shop or call 903-447-2981 to register.
Okay, well, thank you so much. Had I known this is what you were gonna share, I wouldn't have made you sit through this whole thing.
Oh, that's okay.
I really feel bad now that you said all this
Something else,
time. I could have moved you up toward the top. I just didn't know. I'm sorry.
That's okay, I got more.
Oh,
I'm
good.
not done yet.
Okay,
Okay, just to go over a little bit on Market Lake, because I couldn't interrupt earlier.
right.
But the markets are scheduled for the second Saturday of each month.
Uh-huh.
Okay, with the exception of January, February, and March. We tried that, it's too cold.
Yeah.
We've got to find more volunteers, and I have posted it. And I posted it on the Nextdoor app and started getting some people answering. We got 2 people from East Tawakoni that came a couple of times and they were gone.
Yeah.
And we just can't get people that are really into it, you know? But I'll post it again, you know.
Hit it on every page you can come up with. West Tawakoni, there's 2 or 3 West Tawakoni pages. Quinlan, I mean, they don't have to be in town for that, you know, they don't have to be a resident to do that. I would think, I mean, speaking of turn, I mean, it's not something that, it's not bound by legislature that anybody could do it, from anywhere from around the lake could be a part of it, I would think. Am I wrong?
According to the resolution, no, it can be any of them.
Yeah, it could be anybody, okay.
Yeah. Okay,
According to
we
what
have
resolution?
meetings,
Oh, you got, it, okay.
our meetings are scheduled on the 3rd Wednesday of each month. I can give you a copy of this if you want it. And I've got a flyer here for the next one. And then we did add businesses that service West Tawakoni. We let them set up for free, like the Tawakoni Civic Club.
Oh, yeah,
For certain ones.
yeah.
They'll usually either give something away or wrap it up. Grooms and Sons was there once. You know, they gave away a nice gift. I don't remember what it was now. But that's pretty much it on that, except my question is, after listening, I'm still confused as to, can we add back? Because I was told to take off at the top of the flyer, City of West Tawakoni Presents. I was told to take that off.
We need to structure this thing, 'cause I'm promising you, and then I think you'll agree, we got bombarded last year with requests for minutes. And the way it's structured now, we've got a resolution in place. We think it's structured on our end, but I'm not saying that we're gonna get in big trouble or whatever, but it's extra time wasted for Annette to go try to find different agendas, minutes and stuff like that, because they will be asking about the money, because we got a separate checking account for the money. So we got an entity that is bringing money into us, and we're taking care of the bank reconciliation. We're taking care of the money and all that. And there's no committee meetings, there's no, this is supposed to be done 2 years ago.
There are meetings every month, and maybe the lacking has been getting the minutes. That will be addressed. But
we
there's
never
meetings
asked for
every month.
Well,
You shouldn't have to ask. It should just be turned in. We'll
and there
address
should be
that.
minutes, there should be agendas, put out, just like we do any of our committee
Well,
agendas.
technically, I don't think it's gonna fall under the Open Meetings Act. I don't think you have to publish the agenda for that. It's probably not a bad idea to do it, but if you miss one, you can still have the meeting.
Well,
And unlike the city council can't, EDC can't, P and Z can't, because of statutes. But purely advisory boards, like Keep West Walking Beautiful, like the Market on the Lake, those advisory boards technically aren't under the strict.
I understand, but the perception in the community is they want consistency. They want, because I talk to them all the time, all day long, all the time, and they want to see consistency. Why is this board doing this and this board's doing that? One of which is the YouTube. We're doing YouTube on every committee but planning and zoning, and I plan on dealing with that, but I've got an issue. Ooh, I'm not even gonna go there, but I've got an issue there that I'm gonna try to work that out. But they wanna see all this. They want all this on YouTube.
We're off agenda right now.
Oh,
We don't have a problem doing any of it.
okay.
Let me just also say, we have, item 4 on our regular agenda is announcements. When you're announcing the golf cart or the golf thing, or when you're announcing the park on the lake, that's why we put it early on the agenda, so you can announce it when the room's full of people. So in the future, when they call for announcement, these are announcements, these are the kind of things that we can announce, because it would be better for everybody to have heard those things.
Thanks, Jim.
Are we done?
Okay, we're almost done. We got your favorite part, number 12.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
I second it.
Kevin first, ma'am second.
I really want to keep talking.
I was.
All in favor?
Kevin Featherston,
Hang on, all right.
Emery.
see you later.
We are adjourned.
Taking my chocolate.
$200 to hit them at me?
I didn't think about that.